dare to follow me down? Head into the unknown, down the rabbit hole, where it stops no one knows. We're going down. We're going down. We're going down. We're going down. Do you dare to follow me down? Head into the unknown.
Hi everybody. How we doing today? Hopefully my sound is good. I'm paranoid because every single live stream I go back and I watch and sometimes it sound like shit, sometimes it's okay. Lately it's been really good, so I'm hoping it's good. I hear it's pretty friggin' cold in Nova Scotia. Feel for you guys. I truly do. It's not too bad here. It's a balmy -12. Not bad. I moved my camera, a little bit of a different view. My lighting, I think, is okay. Regardless, whatever. Hi, Bonnie Garrett. Good to see you. And Gren, good to see you. Hey, yes, ma'am. Hey, Kimber. Prayers for Lily and Jack, always. Helicopter Grandma, great to see you. And who else? Deanna, good to see you. Hey, House Music, long time no see. Feel like you've caught a few replays in the comments. And Angelina, hi there from Ontario. All set up in bed with the big screen. I hope you're doing well as can be. You're in my thoughts last night for sure. Sailor Moon, thank you for being here. Hi, Marie. Anastasia. Cleveland. Are you from Cleveland? Ohio. Um, Daggum snow and cold. Hi, Charmaine and Mods. Thanks for being here, Lynn. And Sky Painter. Sending sun to everyone from the West Coast. Yes, I cannot wait to go home. 63 days? It's not even a countdown, so I lose track, but I know we're in the 60s still. Hardy Man, hey Mods, is Daphne here? Char's true crime story. Just yeah, crap. I'm one of the 147 deleted. The that was weird. Like, what's going on with Daphne's channel? I'm getting a refund for my membership. I thought she kicked me out after last night's stuff, which we will get to soon. I'm into this case so much I can't remember whose channel I'm on. Yes, here for the ride. Thank you for being here, Artie Man. I appreciate it. Hey, Tim. Cuffew, you're back today. Good to see you again. And Bonnie, hi. Hey, Countryside Wildflowers. Haven't seen you for a while. Good to see you. And who else? Nana. Hey. Yeah, I'm not one of those that's like, oh, hit the like button, share, sub, whatever everybody else says. You can if you want. I appreciate it. Thank you. And Bobby, good to see you. Hey, Cindy B and Lori Green. I saw you had asked a channel. I can't remember where. Could have been in a screenshot. I don't know. It wasn't about the comment, but I happened to see the comment and I don't remember where it was. But I think it was you who asked who connected Daleen with Belinda. And I have the answer to that, I think. From my understanding, Daleen reached out to Belinda. Belinda came to me and asked me a couple of questions about Daleen. I did not have personal experience with Daleen other than I knew she was a lawyer. So that was the information I had for Belinda. I was not involved in the initial connection, but I was involved in letting Belinda know that Daleen was in fact a lawyer. If that was, I'm pretty sure it was you. If it wasn't, never mind. Yes, ma'am. Good to see you. Hey, Belinda, please. Gaspé gal, good to see you. Freezing here in Moncton, is it? Betcha. Good evening, Donna. Jane UK, thanks for being here. Hi, Allison. Ernestine, always a pleasure. Just so you know, I'm not a troll. Changed my name from Carol Bird. It's all good. It's all good. Do not do it. Love it, but don't even worry about it. We're gonna go through it a little bit. I mean, I don't even know what. I think I might be confused on what a troll actually is, but just because you change your name or I don't recognize you, I do not think you're a troll. Or if I know if I'm familiar with your name and you come in and you put in a comment, something that you might believe, but I know is factually false, I also don't call that a troll. The trolls are usually the one-offs that come in here and call me names or say stupid shit like, um, what was the one, lone wolf or whatever, that Brandon Lemieux, whatever, his fake profile came in here and said that I was making money off of Jack and Lily's case, and that's just so far from the truth. I've donated quite a bit. But anyways, that I mean, that he was obviously just uninformed about who I am, but he literally just came in here to say stupid shit like that. That is what I think is a troll. I could be completely wrong, but don't even worry about it. But I'm glad you told me who you really are because I would have been like, who is this? Carrie, it's great to see you. Thank you for being here. Is that Kentucky? Do you guys usually have snow? Oh, was it a mistake? Phew. Me too, but apparently she hit the wrong button and lost all of her members. Oh no, yeah, I totally thought that I was like, because there was a shit storm last night after the live, and then this morning, all day actually, has been like nonstop. We'll address it. Darlene, thank you. I love that you called me Maine. That's cute. That's new. I don't hate that. Hi, Time for Truth. Angus, good to see you. The reason some people in Pictou County don't like YouTubers is because if it wasn't for you guys, it would be silent. RCMP nothing, news nothing. Nova Scotia is silent with this. That's sad. I see, appreciate that because that's exactly why we do what we do because there is nothing else. I see like little like smoke billowing in. Don't fear, that is my incense. I like to have my patchouli or my neg shempra burning. Peace. Bonnie, good to see you. Hey, Deborah, 36 degrees Celsius here in Australia. That's where I need to be. Australia. Countryside. You missed some drama, and I don't. We'll get to it. Yeah, it was me, Shar. Yeah, someone said it was Daleen that contacted Belinda. I have to believe that that is correct. I don't, this was like back in August, and I don't remember even asking Belinda, like, how that connection started, but I think I just assumed that because of something Belinda had said on one of Sunny's live streams, that Daleen reached out to her, and Daleen had added me on Facebook, and I believe we conversed back and forth a few times because we were both in BC and whatever legal stuff. And like I knew she was a lawyer. So I think it was probably Daleen who told Belinda that that she could check with me, or like I don't know for sure, but that's how that went. Daphne accidentally deleted her membership and was trying to add it. I got deleted. It was a mistake. She's fixing it. Perfect. So YouTube sent me a thing saying that I was going to get a refund. Does that mean I have to go back in and redo it? Wolfie, thanks for being here, by the way. Um, Thank you for being an original gangsta, original member. Thank you. I hope you're feeling better. Yes, I do too. Um, I love you guys too. And there are things that I think are misunderstandings and things that you guys don't know that I want to tell you. So maybe you can understand why sometimes things go sideways. Mhm. Oh, thank you, Roots. Thank you, Roots. If you got that membership, please say thank you to Roots Strength. Garnetta, good to see you. And hi. I hope you feel better soon. I've had bad eyes to begin with, and when I get sick, it gets worse. I hate that sending like, oh yeah. -30 last night. I heard Ron Mexico. Double-edged sword. If it wasn't for YouTubers, then they wouldn't be so many sound bites. They aired by sharing the recordings and videos and not just sharing with the RCMP. I don't know what you're talking about, but I probably would agree with that. Snow in Kentucky isn't rare, but we have ice and snow. Oh, see, I wish I knew more about the states. I truly do. Oh my gosh, look at the space under my door. Do you see that? Whatever side it's on. I can't wait to go home. This place is a dump. They do slow the discussion down. But again, my idea of a troll and other people's ideas of trolls, I think, are two different things. And I want to explain myself a little bit to you guys. I don't care what anybody else thinks, but it's important that people that come here regularly understand where I'm coming from and why things happen the way they do. Not gucky, just painful, just hard to focus. That's the worst. They must have had the comments in and back out super quick because I never noticed anything that was that bad. Same, but we'll get to it. Sorry, Mom. For what? You guys are just fine. You guys are fine, and we will get to it. Delene, I want to be fair, was in a lot of people's inboxes offering unsolicited legal advice and asking if they needed a lawyer. Oh, I didn't know that. Snarky Pants, love your name. You know that. And another Deborah. Gosh, what did I miss while I was sleeping in the Southern Hemisphere? Nothing that big. I found Daleen to be pretty professional, like throughout or up to a certain point. I don't disagree with you. I didn't have a problem with Daleen. I don't know if she's still kicking, but I didn't have a problem with Daleen up until it was clear that they had, set their sights on me for whatever reason. Then tell us, are you impatient or just not listening? Uh, hey, Mary, or sorry, hey, and hey, Mara, thanks for being here. Sorry, cool, hi. Maria, are the best on here, ignore the BS. This to me isn't BS, it's just a lot of misunderstanding. You always tell it like it is. I want people to understand where I'm coming from because I'm not trying to be weird or mean or anything. And if you think of me that way, just go away. I don't care. Hey, Sharon Chad. Vet, thanks for being here. Paulette, hi. Hi again from Newfoundland. Love your videos. I appreciate you. Thank you. I'm pretty sure it was Belinda who said it in a live. I think so too. I think so too. And then Daleen reached out to her, and then Belinda reached out to me. That's that's the way it went down, like from my perspective. I can see light under the door and feel a cold draft. It's not too bad. Harley likes it. He's behind me, but he quite enjoys it. I usually have the blanket that's on the big ass window in the door. I usually have it covering that, but I hate it here. Salty suspects. I took a break, came back. Now seems everyone's not getting along again. No, we are. We are. It's just, I think, like I said, misunderstanding. We try to. Chicken whisperer. I appreciate that you appreciate. Mm, all right. I think I'm at the end. Oh, nope. Wait. Nature walks. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I'm so glad to be in here. Funny. Okay. Voodoo. Great to see you. All right. So, okay. So yesterday did a live stream and there were a lot of people watching, which I always appreciate. And my mods got a little bit of flack after the live stream. And I want to make something clear. So my mods, and I don't know if I'm doing something wrong when I set people up as mods or not, but when I set people up as mods, they don't have the ability to block people from my channel. Okay. They have the ability to delete comments and they can pick a time, like a time span, like how long people are timed out for, or they can just straight up delete comments. Now, if they time somebody out, I cannot go back and see what was said when I'm doing my replay review. So I have asked my mods to not time anybody out unless it's offensive, or like if I say, get rid of this person, whatever. I've asked them to delete comments, and if something is offensive, time them out, but don't time them out for too long where I can't go back. If they say something else during that live stream, I can still go back and I can block that person from the live stream. So my mods are literally doing everything that I asked them to do. Last night, they timed people out, they deleted comments and people were coming back in, but that is just so that I can go back on replay and find them and decide whether or not I want them blocked from the channel. Now, having said that, when you have certain people who come in and they're just rude and ignorant, like I said, yeah, I want them blocked. And I have blocked people. But if people are coming in and they're putting their perspective or they're putting their opinions or putting information in that I know comes from Daniel and I don't give it any weight, that that's not enough for me to block somebody. That's enough for me to pull up their comment and set it straight in front of however many people are watching and replay. To me, that's better than blocking and not addressing the false information. That's just my opinion. So so again, my mods, I have asked them. We used to play that game where we would time people out and I'd go back and I'd block them. But then these people, they come back in under different fake profiles. So I look at it as the devil I know. I recognize these people when they come into chat, and I'd rather know who it is that I'm dealing with rather than running around between live streams trying to figure out who's what fake profile. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but it makes sense to me. That's why we try not to block people. We delete comments. I do not appreciate or condone anybody being ignorant to anybody else in my chat. If there is a issue on another channel and then you bring it into my chat, I don't like that either. That's not cool. But If I have an issue with someone, I will speak to them privately and then I'll block them or ask them to change their behavior. Um, what I won't do though is throw shade at anybody on my live streams who I have blocked. I learned that lesson back in high school. Um, when before the burn book and the mean girls and all that, we'd have little groups of friends and maybe we'd be talking shit about somebody and then one of those friends happens to be friends with that person. And then, you'd eventually meet them on the street and they'll want to know what the fuck, why are you talking shit about me? So for me, Derwood aside, anybody that I have blocked on my channel, I'm not going to sit here and throw shade at them when they can't chat back to me or they can't, you know, they're blocked for a reason. I don't want to hear from them anymore, and they're not important enough to me to even call them out on my channel. Derwood aside, because Derwood is different. He keeps talking, so it is what it is. So if you're going to block people, if I'm going to block people, then they're out of my life. They're out of my hemisphere. I am not even going to discuss them. But if other creators block people, but then still bring them up, expecting to not run into them somewhere else on the YouTube streets, that I don't know how I can be held accountable for that in my chat, nor my mods, because I don't know the ins and outs of every little issue that every creator has. I just don't. They're not issues in my channel. So if you guys have an issue with somebody that comes into the channel, there's three little dots. Click on that and say hide user. That's not hiding them from me or anybody else. That's hiding them from you. So you don't have to see their shit. But I'm asking everybody not to attack people that you have a problem with outside of this channel. Okay. And I mean, it is a bunch of drama that never should have happened. I think that um, everybody here is respectful. I missed every bit of it. Anything that I caught, I put up on screen and I addressed it in real time as I saw it. Anything that I didn't see, it's because my mods deleted it. So we did what we did. I apologize for anybody that felt like maybe they were attacked. I don't think that Belinda or Chelsea felt like they were attacked, and they were in here and they were answering questions. So if they did feel attacked, I would hope they would have let me know, but I don't think that that happened. So I mean, if we start blocking people that just put false information in the chats, we would be left with barely anybody to, clarify this information that they're putting out. To me, that's far more valuable than just blocking everybody. I don't know. That's just the way I do things here. So, and it's not for everybody, and that's fine. So, I think I think I've spoken enough on that. The only thing um, that I did also, and I mean, sideways, completely friggin' sideways, because we talked a little bit more about the criminal justice system yesterday, and there were a few comments that were a little more political. And somebody mentioned about this is uh, a liberal channel, whatever. And then I made a comment, like I emphatically stated that this is not a liberal channel. And then somebody else brought up, well, then you're a conservative channel. And I just, maybe I didn't address it properly, but this is not a political channel. And how I vote is nobody's business but mine. This is not, this is a bipartisan channel. I welcome everybody, and I don't care how you vote. Criminal justice and the breakdown of our systems, both in Canada and the United States, is an everybody issue. It's not. It is a political issue for sure, but it's not something that should cause division in a YouTube chat. So I'll get over myself when it comes to that. You guys get over yourselves when it comes to that, and we'll just come together and we'll do what we can to try to change things. I think that it was because of the noise that the public made that the RCMP, that the government finally put that sex offender, that child, um, what is it? I can't remember what it was called, but they had the, the child, um, crimes against children, offenses against children list. They have that now, right? And I think that was because of the public noise. Ron, Mexico, go wait in the car. Okay, so hopefully, hopefully that helps everybody understand that mods do not have the ability to block people from my channel. I've asked them not to time out unless absolutely necessary because I cannot go back and block people that have been timed out. And you know, to me, a troll isn't somebody that comes in here and puts something that they believe in chat. If they believe it to be true, it gives me an opportunity to tell them why it's not true in front of everybody else that's watching. I think that that is a better way to, to deal with things. So, but again, anybody that felt attacked last night, not my intention ever here. There it is. Nationwide child sex offender registry now available to the public. Yes, and we absolutely did go through that. Seen it here first, folks, on the channel. Wish I had that link. It's the link I think is in my community. So today we have some interesting things. And just to kind of follow up on the Canadian justice system, I'm not sure. Like, I wish I had a friend who was a lawyer that could explain some of this for me. But hey, Peace Spice and Ange, and oh man, there's so many of you that came in. Thanks for being here, guys, everybody. Um, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I think so. There's something in the States as well. It's not it is a registry, but it's not for sex offenders. It is for, I shouldn't say because I don't know, but there is another registry in the United States that the FBI uses, that it's not always updated by all the different states. And I think that that's what's going on too with that national registry here. It's going to be up to the individual provinces to upload their information into it. So while it's great, we're going to have to practice some patience. And it's been this long, but it's a start. We just need to, if we don't see progress with it, if we don't see new information, relatively regularly, then we still need to be making that noise because we have the right to protect our children from these people. So I agree. Hey, Belinda. I have no problem answering questions and stand by what I say. Right, and I just feel like if anybody felt attacked yesterday, I would have heard about it. And for the ones that I did hear, just know that it's not my intention of this channel to make anybody feel that way. But at the same time, what happens in other channels shouldn't happen here, shouldn't carry over to here because it's got nothing to do with me. Just like my cease and desist and all that stuff had nothing to do with my creator friends, and I understood that. Um, and they decided to deal with it or not deal with it as they saw fit, and that's fine. And any issues on other channels is not the, the I'm not going to own any of that. All right. Less it affects my people. So this thing, the criminal law notebook up here. Can you guys see my mouse? No. I feel like you used to be able to see my mouse on these things. Can I zoom? Just a minute. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Y'all see that now? Better? Okay. Okay. So this is the list of mandatory minimum challenges, they call it. So it's the mandatory minimum penalties. And the reason why I wish I had a lawyer is this here, the finding. constitutional and unconstitutional. And then this here is the case law. And I'm not gonna, obviously, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but if you click on one of these, it'll take you like an hour to read each one, and then you have to interpret it. And it's just not for a YouTube channel, just information purposes only. But I thought it would be interesting to kind of look at the like second degree murder with prior murder conviction. The minimum penalty is life with 25-year parole ineligibility, and that means 25 years. That's a Canadian life sentence right there. 25 years before you get your um, chance for parole. Impaired driving, the minimum penalty is a fine. Wow, didn't know that. Here we go. Sexual interference, minimum penalty 90 days. Invitation to sexual touching, 90-day minimum. That's 3 months, folks. 3 months. And then you come down to this one, and you actually, this is prior to 2015. It used to be 45 days. Possession of CSAM, 45 days minimum. 45 days. And then there's another one, 6 months. I'll put a link to this, and you guys can click on this stuff to read the actual law. But and then if you want to go to Canley and see the case law, you can. But some of this accessing 6 months, and then skip over the ones that are unconscious constitutional, um, which all of these are unconstitutional. Like what the? I wish I had a lawyer here to. Why though? But they're still only 6 months, and then possession of restricted prohibited firearm is 5 years. So it's worse to have, not even that you're using it, but it's a bigger crime to have a restricted firearm than it is to um, commodification of sexual services offense, accessing child p. That having a restricted gun is a worse offense than that. What? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Robbery, terrible, violent offense, 5 years. But how long is the sentence for a child that's involved in this? A lifetime. So how do we make that make sense? Criminal negligence causing death with a firearm, 4 years. With a firearm, attempted murder, 4 years. Unbelievable. What else? Here's one for another one. 1 year. That's unconstitutional. But then there's another one down here with the same thing, which is constitutional. It must have to do with the case law. Yeah, you absolutely need to look at the people dictating the law. You absolutely do. Absolutely. Distribution of CSAM, 1 year. Perfectly good. 1 year minimum, and that's constitutional. I beg to differ. Making explicit materials available. There's no minimum. It's constitutional. And I don't know, just because this is blank, does that mean that there's no minimum? And then there's nothing for first degree and second degree murder. The mandatory minimum of 90 days summary and 12 months indictment for child luring was upheld as not cruel and unusual. 90 days or 1 year for child luring is constitutional, you guys. It's constitutional. It's perfectly acceptable. There are various degrees, absolutely, but even any kind of possession, distribution, making of CSAM material I don't care what degree it is. This isn't just my opinion. I don't know. I think that's horseshit. I truly do. I think that we need to seriously, I don't know, what do we do? Do we can we like lobby someone or something somehow somewhere? How does that work? So this is the mandatory. Just a sec. I want to see if there's a chart. Okay. I'm gonna look at this one too. And like I said, it would be really helpful if I had like a lawyer to go through this stuff with us. But I don't, so we're just gonna look at it and we're just gonna be enraged Canadians and Americans, uninformed but opinionated, because this is bullshit. Maximum for indictable offenses will always be specified in the provisions. The code will specify a maximum of 2, 5, 10, 14 years jail or life. Where the offense does not specify a maximum penalty is section 743 will deem the maximum penalty as 5 years. Good to know. If it doesn't say, then it's 5 years. Remember that. Write that down, you guys. Try my best to watch chat. Intimate partner violence. Let's look at that. Maximum penalty. If an accused is convicted of an indictable offense in the commission of which violence was used, threatened, or attempted against an intimate partner, and the accused has been previously convicted of an offense in the commission of which violence was used, threatened, or attempted against an intimate partner, the court may impose a term of imprisonment that is more than the maximum term of imprisonment provided that the offense, but not more than 5 years. If the maximum term of imprisonment for the offense is 2 years or more, but less than 5 years. 10 years if the maximum term of imprisonment for the offense is 5 years or more, but less than 10 years. 14 years, same thing. Life if the maximum term of imprisonment for the offenses is 14 years or more, and up to imprisonment for life. So I mean, it is fair to say that you would need to see, the crime, whatever. So anyways, very, to me, very interesting. Just just a quick boo at some of this stuff that everybody should be concerned about, because this is our country. This is the deterrent, right? Am I right? This is what's going to, not that people who, commit these crimes are worried or are schooled or knowledgeable about um the possible punishment if they get caught committing these crimes. I don't think a lot of them care to look, because a lot of times they either have the opinion that, they'll never get caught, or they don't think before they do, one of the two. But if we can maybe work on spreading the word, which I think is a mistake, because these penalties for serious offenses are just not good. Like, if my members remember the members only live stream we did, and we talked a little bit about the person I know who had um who had a conviction for, what they had, 14 years, to drop in the bucket. The people that lost their lives, the ripple effect goes on for generations, for generations. So how horrifying is this? Let's look at chat for a little bit. So I did put the link to these two um, pages. I got a really cold breeze coming at me. It's probably that friggin' door. Burr. Um, anyways, I put the link to them. So you guys can go and click around because these are all links, right? You can, how come it's not moving? Oh, that's why. Duh. You guys can go and click on these links and read about it if it interests you, but it's upsetting. Let's look at chat for a couple minutes, then we'll move on to Jack and Lily. Jack and Lily found more interesting stuff that I would like to listen to. Most of you will be like, oh, no, not again. Um, then you need to look at people dictating the law. That's where I left off. Yeah, that's disgusting. It absolutely is because it's the lawmakers who are also offending in this sense, which is why the laws are more lenient. It's to their own advantage. In what way? Just looking into that, it is the fifth estate. The woke are a bunch of limp wristed. Well, hmm. I can't say I disagree with you, but I will err on the side of caution and not read that. It's the equivalent to a slap on the wrist. To me, like a minimum of 90 days, even 1 year for invitation to touching or making CSAM available. Hey, it blows my mind, and it's no question. It leaves absolutely no doubt in my mind how this is not a deterrent for future criminals. If they knew about this stuff, it would make no difference. None, I don't think. Zero tolerance. Yeah, me too. I only know that from a story where someone was charged at Halifax Airport when that was on their computer. But why was it on their computer? That's the stuff that would come out in trial. But I also know that um, years ago, on the American Sex Offender Registry, they didn't have, maybe it was a Canadian one that we didn't have access, can't remember. But anyways, obviously there are different types of sexual offenses, right? And if you're indecent exposure, that would land you on the registry. And that could be, and I'm not saying that's okay, but that could be something like a man taking a leak in a public park behind a bush and somebody saw him. That could be indecent exposure, and that could land you on the sex offender registry. But I don't know if it's still that way. I'm pretty sure that now they would have that sorted out because that's ridiculous. Infuriating. Meanwhile, the children's lives will never be the same again. A lifetime of trauma. Yeah, they have a life sentence. How is child luring not cruel and right? To me, you have to take the crime and you have to take the offender, but you also have to take the impact on the victim. And all of that together should dictate what that sentence will be. And then if they're convicted and they're put into 23-hour lockdown because they've committed so many violent crimes, at what point do we decide that these people do not deserve another chance at society? They don't deserve to go and play hockey or tennis. There are just some things that you forfeit your right to when you take people's lives or when you take children's innocence and change their lives forever. That It's a good thing I'm not in charge of the criminal justice system. I'm telling you. That means if they find it really bad degree, the perps will get a way longer sentence. Hey, crime science stories. Jim Bob bully might get a boo-boo. We need to protect Jim Bob because his rights. are now greater than the victim of his bullying. Yeah. Prime example, we heard yesterday that even the media at the time of that recording couldn't get a straight answer if Russell Williams had been transferred to medium security prison or not because it's against his privacy rights. To me, he forfeited his privacy rights when he murdered Jessica and um, Marie Francois. That's just the long and short of it. Is child considered child luring? I don't know. I don't think so. Uh, I shouldn't say, but I don't think so. We are so soft on crime, it's a joke. People say take a person on a vacation to Canada or on a cruise to off them. So soft on crime. Right. Oh my God, you guys. I just happenstance. I saw after I finished watching the Survivor, the Victim One again last night. I watched it again because I think it's so good. The next one up, and I had kind of dozed off, but the next one up was what I can't remember her name, and I feel bad, but her and her abusive boyfriend went to Mexico and she was killed at the resort. And I'm watching this thing and the investigative journalist is walking through this resort and like the rooms and stuff. I was at that resort last year. Same resort. Oh, half of the resort was being renovated. Couldn't even access it. Makes perfect sense now because that news thing said that they were renovating. Blew my mind. I think you look at lawmakers, but judges as well. Statutes are still subject to judicial review, and judges sometimes rule shit cruel and unusual. Who are these judges? Who are the judges that are doing that? That's the problem. Way too soft on crime in Canada, a slap on the wrist and let people out on parole for some things that should never in a million years should they ever see the light of day ever again. I agree. A lot of countries are the same with SA cases. They are, and I don't get it. Beware, everyone. There are a lot of people here looking to get information from us. They play like they are harmless, but they have ulterior motives. Okay. I'm not one of those, Damien, just so you know. 12 years and you're out in 4. Is that what it is? Or would it be 12 years and you were out in 8? Isn't it 2/3? I could be wrong. I've never served hard time. Scout's honor. Children and animals are way down the line in the justice system because the system is made up of not nice and the elderly. They're also um, left behind. Just jumping on now, busy evening, preparing for storm. I hope you guys are all safe. After all this time and lessons learned along the way, I agree with you. Okay, you guys have to explain that to me because that went way over my head. Snoop sisters, good to see you. Gina and Mac. Domestic violence is so broad, I'm trying to become an advocate against it. I am pretty disappointed in some of them. It's sad that in cases like this, people will play games like they are. I'm going to say it once for you. Um, child sexual abuse material. Where are their motives, and how will these motives bring answer for Jack and Lily? It often destroys a child's life. Yeah, it does. Some kids, with counseling and therapy, some kids are resilient and they can move on and lead really great lives, and some become advocates and some are strong, and but there are some that aren't and some that don't, and they never deserved it in the first place. And The offenders need to be held accountable for that. Has a lot to do with intent. A guy peeing behind a bush, his intent to pee, not flash. Right. It should. Here in the UK, some killers have a better cell than my living room. All mods, cons, yeah. And even looking at, remember that yesterday, Paul Bernardo in his medium security cell, just totally kicked back. You know, he's got his sweatpants on, his hoodie on. Um, that doesn't seem like punishment to me. I don't care how long he's been in there. Christopher Mitchell from Brampton, Ontario, shot and killed my uncle, John Wheeler, in Scarborough, Ontario, 2001, and only got 18 years in jail. It's sad because your family was affected for generations. It'll be the ripple effect. When you were reading time on my comments, I meant to say, can judge give perp more time than what is? Yes. The minimum is what they have to start at. The man who molested my son has charges dropped because the Crown waited 9 months to talk to my son and said a 4-year-old wasn't credible witness. No conviction. So J9, I'm right with you. My daughters, because my 8-year-old daughter couldn't keep her story straight from things that had happened to her 2 years previous. They couldn't make charges stick until we went back for historical abuse and we went to trial because um, we got a different detective because other things had come up down there. Actually, 14 years later, different things had come up, and that allowed them to bring up different charges. But then historical S abuse charges were laid, and we went to trial for that. A man from Deep River killed a woman, cut her hand off, and set up a stage like Saw. Wow. He was released after 2 years. He was not taking his meds. He was a psycho, and he is out. Terrifying. Yeah, I kind of, yeah. What can I do? I mean, I can shut up, I can stop doing this, but I don't think that would solve anything. Famous French queen who was beheaded. I was at a Mexican resort, and the following week there was a murder of an Ontario couple who were there for their daughter's wedding, turned to international news, and weirdness followed. So this one that I watched last night, the boyfriend, I mean, he's clearly allegedly guilty, but he went through trial and he was found not guilty in Mexico in Playa del Carmen, Playa del Carmen, in their courthouse. Um, he claims that the cartel did it. And I mean, I did research before I went to Mexico, and from my understanding, the cartel doesn't touch tourists on resorts. That that is like their tourism, right? That's how the country makes money off tourism, right? So from what I understand, and they even talked to a cartel person on that investigative show. Uh, I don't think that's the case because it happened right in the resort. So, um, maybe though. It was perfectly safe when I was there. I felt like it until like we went to Playa del Carmen without a tour group. It was just me and Ian, and we got lost. Terrifying, terrifying. It was the only day I lost my phone. Anyways, I was just about to mention this case was Avery Haynes from W5 Mexico is overturning his not guilty verdict. Can you imagine 50 years in a Mexican prison? No. I curled up with my crochet, safe and warm. I used to crochet. But why? Why, Damien? Why do you think that's happening? I don't understand it. We do not have enough prison cells and they are overrun with criminals. That is why, in my opinion, they let people go because there's nowhere to send them. A lot of snakes, Belinda, yeah, but again, why? Just noticed I am not green. I will have to load my card up again. I like the green, not gray. Please don't feel obligated. 1/3 for good time, 1/3 for parole. Only need to serve 1/3 for most, not all sentences. Hmm. See, I thought it was 2/3. Canadian Cat Lady, thanks for being here. People running the show are all boys' school. So what you're saying is we need women in our parliament. More women judges. Hear that, ladies? Go to school. I can't. Just like the poor boy who is decapitated on the bus, that man is out too. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday too. Vincent Lee. He's, free and clear. New identity. Hey, Chelsea. Oh my God, I'm going to Mexico in April. Now I'm getting scared. Don't be scared because I felt perfectly safe when I was on and granted, I don't like guns. I don't like them. So when you go into Playa del Carmen, even like the second time we went on a ferry, but we had to catch it there. And there are police everywhere, but they carry fully automatics. But then there are the guys with the masks on their face too that you know they're bad news. I just didn't make eye contact. And just go where you're going and get out. Just don't cause trouble. And for Pete's sake, don't get caught smoking in non-smoking areas. Not that I did, but I was warned by every Mexican. If you go off the resort snooping around looking for cocaine, you might get yourself hurt, but I can't see them coming onto the resort and killing their tourism money. Exactly. Exactly. We were walking through one of the markets, and I can't remember what the island is right now, but we went over on the ferry and we were walking through, and there was a little group of guys, and one of them come running up to Ian and asked him if he had a cigarette. And Ian said, yeah, I hear, he went to go reach for a cigarette and he was trying to get him to come over. But I think that what what my brother said was he was trying to sell him cocaine, and that was his in. Something about I don't know. I don't know. There's no possible way he's not, Belinda. No way. To me, if you're in an all when you're in an all-inclusive resort and you've got, you know, so many people around you and you're in swimming pools and you're sharing buffets with all different types of people. It's possible to have other people's DNA on you. Of course it is. And for that to have been key in his acquittal is just ridiculous. The one where I had just left was Playa del Carmen, and in their room and conspiracies about mafia and Mexican police accused two middle-aged Canadian women. Hmm. Ryan Wedding. The reason, Charmaine, is if it stays a missing persons case, they all walk. Well, to that, I would have to say I believe, and maybe wrongly, but I believe that major crimes is well aware of everything that's gone on, and if it needs to if it needs to transition to a criminal investigation, I don't think that not finding remains is going to stop that from happening. If that's any possible, I don't see that. It just takes longer. That's all. There's like, unless the kids truly wandered into the woods and simply have not been found yet, anything else at this point is criminal. So, I said it before, even if Malaya walked them out herself, the woman with sole custody walked them out herself. At this point, there's there has been a crime committed, at least one. Yes, I know you do. Hey, where's Gren? Do we want to say what we think of one of their female judges in the United States? I won't. All right. So now we're going to get into the cringe fest because I think it's important. I think it's important. We're going to kind of sort of maybe go backwards just a little tiny bit. Not a lot, just a little tiny bit. Because everybody is aware of the Derwood calls that were leaked last week-ish. The Sunny calls that were leaked. And then I know during Shenanigans Live, I think she was live with AB. She tried to play the live stream that happened that later that night. So to set it up again, and I'm sure Sunny's done it, you guys may have heard it, but I want to say it because I haven't addressed it yet. So Derwood called Sunny, asked her to write this down, and went on his big spiel and said, I'm going to tell everybody tonight what's been going on and I'm going to apologize, or tomorrow and I'm going to apologize, blah, 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 blah. So fast forward to the following live stream, Sunny and I are sitting there waiting for Derwood to be ready to call because he's going to call all of this bullshit out. But instead of doing that, he did like a complete about face and went completely off of what he said that he was going to do, and kind of left me and Sunny sitting there like dumbfounded because that's not what he said he was going to do. And he had released a bunch of information during that live stream that we never ever would have want to put out there, like the 1,000% ironclad and all that stuff. That's not something that Sunny would ever have allowed to have been put out without any kind of vetting. So I wanted to go through that. mm, I don't know. We can listen to the call. If we did that, I would want to do it on like, but I can't really do that on a 2 times speed. But then like the following day, what a lot of people have seen it, but it's been months. But the following day, we kind of addressed it in the live, like, anyways. That's what I want to do. If you don't want to watch it, I totally get it. Thank you for being here to this point. If I lose some of you, I totally understand. I get it. I do. This is absolutely courtesy of It's a Crime and Shame. I will apologize in advance for my facial expressions throughout all the videos that we're going to watch today, because I just, I guess I don't hide my feelings very well. So this one is called Shit Just Got Crazier, Derwood Loss of Custody. So I think maybe it might be a better idea to do this one first, because this is the call. And I want to say it's right around the 10-minute mark where he actually gets to the point. So we're going to watch it from here just for a little bit, and then we're going to jump over to when he actually called. This is the private information that we're going to listen to now, the private call, and then we're going to jump on to the live stream that we did where he was supposed to say all of this shit. He was supposed to tell all of you guys. Does that make sense? I'll be watching the chat best I can. Be nice to each other. Oh, let me know if you can't hear it.
He's the hero. He's done everything. He did this. He did that. Malaya's bad. Malaya's bad. Malaya's bad. Malaya's bad. Oh, right.
Something. And Malaya's so scared of him, but scared to open her mouth against him.
It doesn't make sense though, at all, Darren, for the sense of if two people are involved in a crime, they usually stick together up until the police crack them and break them down.
Yep.
But
Yep.
in this case, she took off. So that,
And I also had
yeah, yeah.
So that's all that's what I just want you to know that information and to be able to
Okay.
put that out if
So,
when I believe Daniel's going to get nailed for this.
mm,
And I think I'm gonna try to, I'm gonna find out more information today, believe it or not, because people, even my family and people here, they think I'm beat,
mhm.
and I'm not quite yet.
You know, now let me ask you this, and so don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm a wise person. I'm very intuitive, and so I get what you're saying because I was literally just before you called. I was literally going through all his messages and and all he like basically from this perspective, an outsider's perspective, this is how it looks. He's the hero. He's done everything. He did this. He did that. Malay is bad. Malay is bad. Malay is bad. Malay is bad. Oh, I'm not trying to talk down about Malay, but I'm so great. I'm the knight in shining armor that she, and it's just, it's almost like an obsession or something. Um,
So,
Absolutely. And then he said that Jamie, or sorry, that Cindy Murray, I have it in a message that I was actually gonna show in the text messages. He calls, says, I was waiting, she's a psychopath. I was waiting to see one trait, and that day I saw it when there was no tears. I almost think that so I usually look into someone's eyes and soul of who they are. Um, Malaya actually has quite a very soft eyes. Like meaning when you look at her eyes, she just seems like a very kind, warm-hearted type of person for the most part. He- yeah. He, on the other hand, when I look into his eyes, I almost feel like I'm talking to the devil, to be honest with you. Like, but somebody that is so good at portraying to be something that they actually kind of fool people because like in a sense with him, but when I look into his eyes I don't trust him at all, but I want to. But when I look at his eyes, it's like there it's not one of those people that I go, this is a nice guy. But anyways, so he believes his own lies. He believes his own shit. And all his messages are in accordance.
Do you guys, so did that refresh everybody's memory? Hey Brian, did that refresh everybody's memory about this call? Do we have to listen to the whole thing? I'm just gonna wait to see if chat remembers this because I would prefer to go over to the following like live stream after this phone call had happened where Sonny and I are literally waiting for him to come out with this spectacular information that he's not um I guess buying into all of the stuff at that time. No, I don't think, not too sure about anyone. No, either way, you're fine. I would prefer just to move on to the next live stream so that I want to get to the one that we haven't replayed yet, where we start talking about it. You never heard the call, Cheryl? Oh no. Most people have. So I'm gonna link this in the chat for you, Cheryl, so you can go back, just like write it down or whatever. You can go back and you can listen to the call. I think this is 34 minutes, 24 seconds, so it's not that long. You can go back and listen to it, okay? But I would prefer to go over here. So like I said, we were we were expecting Derwood to get a hold of us so that we could, you know, put this groundbreaking information out there that, Derwood has been keeping his enemies close to get the information. He was so close and he had one conversation left to have. And that's what we were expecting to have. And this is where I have to apologize a little bit for my facial expressions because I was like, I think I even turned my camera off at some point. So I was like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? But anyway, let's do this. June, no. Probably mid-July. Late June, July. Yeah. I could probably go back and find the date for you, but I'm telling you, it's wild. So you remember that call. Now you know what Derwood had said during that call. This is what we were expecting to come out in the live stream, and here we go.
I'm finished with this. I wrote it to the end, and I'll tell you why. I never succeeded in bringing the kids back to us, but that wasn't going to happen anyway because CPS is not going to give those kids back when we find them. They're not going to give those kids back to us anyway, to the family anyway. They're, with all that's gone on, there's no way. Do you guys think so? And with Meadow, I mean, I don't think Malaya's ever going to get Meadow again. And so, but I'll tell you why I'm not happy about some of that. But I'll tell you what I found out later today. Okay, I had a real good. The person I needed to see later this afternoon. I got to them. Oh boy, and I can't say who they are, and I can't really say.
That's fine.
And I can't really say what they told me, but it's ironclad. It's 1,000% true. Okay. I know exactly what happened to the kids. The kids are alive. The kids are probably not in Nova Scotia now, but the kids are being taken care of by, I'm sure, by Malaya's native people. They're alive, and I'm probably, my goal in this was, I said, my number one goal, if we could get those kids back alive, that would have been it. But knowing what I found out today through CPS and the information that I found out from this person, and believe me, it's ironclad. It's 1,000%. The kids are alive, and somebody has them that's taking care of them. Meadow is in custody of CPS, and they're going to decide where Meadow goes. And I have no control over that. And if Logan could get temporary custody or permanent custody of Meadow, I would be happy with that. And I talked to well, I can't say that. Let's just say I recommended Logan to the proper people to have Meadow. Now, Jack and Lilly, I'm telling you, they're alive, and I'm sure they're being protected by the Native community, probably not the Native community in Shubenacadie, and they may not even be in Canada. Now, that's what I know, and there's a big difference between what I know and what I think. So I just told you what I know, and if I tell you what I think, it's probably wrong.
I'm online, Mom.
Wait.
What's that?
No, sorry. That was
No,
Ken.
go ahead.
Mute yourself.
So that's all I got right at this point. If you people ask me what I think, I might be wrong, but I'm telling you, I'm not wrong about what I said so far.
So just to confirm, so you said it's 1,000% ironclad that these children are alive.
Yep.
Jack
And
and
if I
Lily.
turn out to be wrong, the source that informed me this afternoon, then I'll fully expose it to show people why I said I'm 1,000% right.
Okay, right.
Okay? But the only way I'll expose that is if I do turn out to be wrong.
Okay.
Because this source is very important, very in the know, very heavy, right in the middle of everything. And I almost said a he or she, and I'm not going to do that. They know everything that happened right from start to finish. I double checked it with other people, other witnesses, other sources, and they have not been on any kind of publicity. They have not been on any kind of interview. They have not been on any kind of anything.
Okay. So.
And they have a good reason for that, by the way. So I hope this makes it makes me feel hellish good.
Well, obviously we want Jack and Lily, like we want them regardless. We want to know that they're fine, that they're alive, that they're not dead, that there's and stuff like that. So in your heart of hearts, do you believe this to be true?
1,000%.
1,000.
I'll tell you if you want me to try to prove more of the genuineness of what I'm saying. You people out there, my name is Darren. My first name, my real name is Darin. My last name is Geddes, Geddes. I'm a Stellarton rat. I was born in Stellarton. I live in Trenton. I'm related to the Paddy Allen and the people, my family in Toro. I know the McKenzie boys, James, Alvin, Earl, Daniel's father. I haven't known Earl. I only spotted him once. I've seen him a few times, but I've known James and Alvin and the rest of them for years. And
what?
I'm telling you that's the deal. So believe me or not, you guys, I know it's the internet, and but I just told you my real name. And anybody who wants to call me down or say I'm a liar or make excuses that they think they know that I'm wrong, go ahead. Feel free. Fill your boots. Go ahead.
Well, can I ask you a couple questions? Or
you can ask me anything you
Perfect.
want. If I can answer,
right.
I'm sure glad.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, of course. So, Darren, so like I said, people know exactly who you are. Your name is Darren Geddes on there. So my thing is this. If you're 1,000% and this person has told you, why is the RCMP, why is this case not been solved in RCMP and the $150,000 put up? So like that doesn't.
And I think they're centered on the wrong person. And they need two bodies to charge this person, and they can't find two bodies.
Okay. Lauren wants to ask you a question.
Listen, my friend is looking at me right now. She wants me to be done with this, and I told her I was going to have one more little go with this here to let you guys, to inform you guys. So I'm actually so thankful that I know what I know. And I'm actually so thankful that there's nothing else I can do. I can't bring those kids back here. I can't dictate who Meadow goes with. So I'm just relieved to have it off my back, because to tell you the truth, it's been pretty goddamn heavy for a while.
Yeah. Can Lauren ask you a question by chance, Darren?
You guys can ask me any goddamn thing, but I'll tell you, I don't want to be on here too long.
Don't worry.
Because the people right close to me here are upset. I'm drawing attention to my family.
Yeah.
And they don't want. They don't want me to draw more attention to my family much longer. So I'm very glad that this came when it did.
Yeah.
That I can put an end to this for myself and my family. And I'm so glad that the kids are alive. So yeah, Lauren or whoever wants to ask me anything, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, Darren, don't even worry about it. It's not even so much of a question. Me personally, I absolutely believe you. I am worried. I'm afraid to believe that the kids are alive in case they are not. But I do believe what you're saying. I just wanted to say, it's not even a question though. I just wanted to say, in the United States on the reservations, I know in the United States on the reservations, it becomes a very tricky thing because they literally cannot, law enforcement cannot enter in. And I don't know this for a fact. I have to look at it specifically, but from my understanding, the reservations in the States are run differently than they are in Canada. And the local police do not have jurisdiction on the reservations. I just wanted to point that out. So in case for some reason they were brought over here, it may
Yeah, but
be
we
because,
did hear you, and I want to inform you, yeah, it is different in Canada. The RCMP
yes,
have full jurisdiction on the reservations as well. If it's
yes,
a if it's a civil matter, the RCMP have to advise the authorities on the reservation before they go in, and they have to go in with the authorities on the reservation, sort of with their permission and cooperation. But in Canada,
okay.
the RCMP have the ultimate authority to go into the reservations here on Canada in Canada.
Yeah,
So
and from my understanding, and this is a very loose understanding, it gets really complicated in a lot of these rural areas because the jurisdiction does change so quickly, and that is how a lot of First Nations people um, do go missing and under the radar and that type of thing here in the U.S. because of those kind of laws. Now, I
Okay.
definitely have to fact check it. But yeah, so I didn't have a question, Derek. I just wanted to say that if they
Okay.
are here, it might be because. Oh, go ahead, Sunny.
No, because I know he wants to get going because he doesn't want to
Oh
be
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
I'll put this on speakerphone, see if I can hear you better.
Sure. I just wanted to go to Charmaine. Charmaine, did you have a question for Darren?
There we go. That's it.
Let's see. I'm
No,
asking Charmaine. No?
I do
Okay.
not. I have many, many for you later, but no, I do not.
Okay. Kent, do you have 1 second? Sorry. Darlene, thank you. 1 second, Darren. 1 second. Thank you. Thanks, thanks, Darlene. Thank you so much. Okay, Kent, did you have a question for Darren before we let him go? Kent? Let me unmute you,
But
Kent.
you're mute. Yeah.
Am I muted?
Oh my God, yes, but you're very loud. Okay, 1 second. Yeah. What, do you have a question?
Uh, I don't really need to hear from Ken. Uh, that's funny. That was funny. No, I do not, but I happen to have many for you when this is done, Sunny. Like, oh, I could tell that she was just not impressed either. We were both like, what the heck? What just happened? Because, like you said, you have to think about the family. Just a minute. Oh, hope. Ah, okay. You have to think about the family when you're putting stuff like this out, right? And you don't want to cause them any more grief and trauma than they're already dealing with. So when you say the kids are alive, 1000% ironclad, this is what I know. I could tell you what I think, but this is what I know. That is so irresponsible. And I'm just now let me find it because I don't have it open, but I do have the timestamp and I believe it's like the next one from shit just got whatever it's called. Shit just got real, shit just got strange, just whatever it was. It was a good title. It's very apropos. Just a minute. I'll find it because we did talk about it and I feel, if I'm not mistaken, this is where things went sideways between Sonny and Derwood because he was always, I telling Sonny, I appreciate how you communicate and you're honest, you're a good person. I like talking to you. And then it turned literally on a dime. And I'm pretty sure this is the point, like the day after we were just like, what the actual forgive me. I don't want to play anything that's not necessary, so just a minute. Okay, I found it. This is one of those days where I was just like, to be honest with you, I was probably just like fresh back from from being on the lake or something, because I'm just whatever. It's all good. Everybody is everybody's laughing at me. Yeah, everybody's laughing. What am I wandering in on? Nothing new. Just we heard last week the leaked Derwood phone calls, the private phone calls, correct? But then I just played a portion of the live stream where Derwood was going to come on and tell the public what he had told Sunny, and instead he did this about face and said the kids are alive, 1,000% ironclad. This is what I know. I'm not going to share what I'm not sure of or my guess is, but that was the ironclad point, and that was a total 180 from what we thought was going to happen on that live stream. And it was a problem because we never would have allowed that information to come out the way it came out, because both of us felt like it was extremely um, insensitive to the family, who at that time was still, I know that Belinda thought that, the kids weren't coming home, but there had to have been some piece of them still in late June, early July that thought maybe, and giving them that level of false hope, like he was 1,000% ironclad, that was irresponsible. And it's not something we were going to do. I wish, if you give me just 30 seconds, I will find the part where Sunny says her piece, and then it goes into where I say my piece. I'm just give me a minute.
So now that I got that cleared out of the way, let's talk about, if you guys don't mind, let's talk about yesterday. So yes,
Okay, this is it. That's on Sunny's live. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself, and we're going to listen to Sunny's piece, and then it goes into mine.
yesterday Darren was called in, okay? And I know Darren cares so much about this case for Jack and Lily, okay? Now, the information he dropped yesterday, that one threw me for a loop, and I'm pretty sure everybody else that was probably watching the chat, because basically Darren came in saying that he was having a second better half of a day, and that he had answers about Jack and Lily, and that basically to say that they're alive, but we had absolutely no receipts to that whatsoever. So just like anything, is that this is coming from a family member that's Malaya's grandmother's cousin, right? Which is a cousin to the side of Patty. Okay, so that would be Malaya's first cousin, twice removed, and this would be Darren. Now he's been working really hard at trying to find information, but at the end of the day, it left us feeling yesterday like, well, wait a second. I mean, you're saying that the children are alive, but you can't say who it is that's saying this, because you made a promise, but you want us to believe that these children are alive. Now, in saying that, again, you take that information with a grain of salt. Does it make it true what Darren's saying? Absolutely not. We don't know. Unless there's receipts to back stuff up, then we have to deem it as more speculation on that. Uh, Jay Slater.
Thank you. Follow your studies and see later reach to praying, Jack and Will in love, me.
Jay Slater case. Yes. Nicola Bully case. Again, thank you so much, Chris, for that. Jay Slater, very sad, tragic case right there. Another one. Again, you know, for me, I do everything from my heart. And I don't need people sitting there going, well, because you said this about Daniel, I'm not watching your channel no more. Well, good, don't. Okay, don't. Because we're here to talk about Jack and Lily first and foremost, and to bring awareness. And the only thing that we have, okay, because the RCMP isn't telling us what, besides what they're telling us, other than that, regardless if you believe it's true or not, whatever Daniel says, whatever Belinda says, whatever Darren says, whatever Logan says, there are people that are still speaking from the family, okay? But yesterday was, go ahead. Did you say something, Ken?
Nope.
Okay, because your thing kind of,
Just comment.
yeah. Now, I- we're going to be talking about this, and we want to bring it back again to reality in a sense, because although, again, Darren came in here and he was talking, it was one of those things for me, and I'm just going to say what I feel from my heart on this one, okay, without disrespect to Darren at all, because I've appreciated the fact that he's been a voice, and we just kind of let him say what he needs to say, and then you take that information and then you try to decipher it what you will. But my instant thought when he came in and said, "Hey, you know what? I kind of figured out the last puzzle piece here, and Jack and Lily are alive, but I can't say where I got the information from because I made a promise in this." Well, instantly my head went to Belinda, and I'm like, okay, this is a cruel game to a grandmother. If this information that supposedly is 1000% ironclad is false information. So that's what I was thinking, because meaning if you're going to put out that type of big information, then there has to be some sort of receipts to back that up. And if not, then you have to take it with the grain of salt that it's said in. You listen to what was said and you go back and you think about what we all know with Daniel's information, Malaya's interview, and all Daniel's interviews, his interviews, Belinda's, and all that stuff, and then put it back, try to put it back into context of where it truly belongs. So, by no means, again, are we sitting here trying to disrespect Darren's information, but for us to take that information on ourselves, and I know he understands this, is that if he has that information for himself, then absolutely wonderful for himself. Okay. But as for us, we're not going to sit there and take that as 100,000% ironclad. We're not going to take it as 100% ironclad. We're not going to take it as anything besides third hand information of information that you guys possibly might, want to look into, decide, etc. So with that being said, we just want to bring it back again to the, gravity and reality of the situation, is that as for us as viewers and people that are following the case, we don't know exactly what happened to Jack and Lily. I believe that there's family involvement here, and if this becomes about who's lying, is it Daniel lying? Is it Malaya lying? I believe that they're both lying. Um, Regardless, they're both lying, and there's mistruths in here. And this case should not be that difficult, but it's turning into one of those ones that, from Malaya's corner, 100% believe in the RCMP. They're going to do their job. The truth will come out. From Daniel's corner, you know what? Let's basically attack Malaya, say how great I am, and basically, I'm the one willing to take a polygraph test. I'm the one that's willing to hand in my phone information. So we have to look at it from both sides of the fence for sure, and look at it like as if it's from an abusive type of relationship that has escalated into, by chance, the removal of the children by Malaya, and it became something wilder than that. But the information yesterday was going past wild. It was going to absurd. And that's where it's kind of like, in my heart of hearts, I don't want Belinda to even have the potential hope that they're alive. If somebody's going to come on and say like that, for sure they're alive, 100%, 1000% ironclad and stuff like that. But I know she's also a wise woman. And I know, and just like Chelsea, I know that the family members that, go ahead. Can't you keep popping in a little bit, so I don't know that you're meaning to, but I hear something coming from your thing. But anyways, so that's my particular thoughts on that, and I'm here just to look at everything. And if it's Daniel that's truly involved with the kid's disappearance, or Malaya is the one that has scooted them off somewhere, and this whole absurd thing past that what, a month, basically almost at the 2 month mark soon enough, and that these children are still missing, and that the RCMP are such dumbasses that out of all this they couldn't have figured all this out. But no, they put out 150,000 information K reward here. So to me, it's it's absurd that this much later in the case that Malaya wouldn't have just said, you know what, I was just trying to get the kids out of there, trying to put them in a safe place, da 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 da. But no, that's not what happened. So now we got them, you know, headed off to the US or Canada somewhere, and that they're being protected and that we won't see them till they're 18 years old sounds absurd. It is absurd, is what it is. So again, Darwin, Darwin, Derwood, Darren, all these D's. He's just going with whatever he believes is the information that's given to him. Does it mean it's factual to us? No. Charmaine, okay, so that's what I got to say on that, because my heart went out instantly to put out that type of information, kind of like what Lauren said, is that I'm not here to try to hurt Melinda, and she knows that. Um, but false hope of I got 1,000% glad that the children are alive and stuff like that. Instantly, when we don't know that that's true because we don't got nothing to back that up, it just hurt my heart, is what it did. For the sake of Belinda, especially because she believes that the children, that something bad has happened to them, and she doesn't believe probably that they're alive, but she would always want to hold out hope, right? It's just that we didn't have no receipts, and it came off as like, sorry, I lied to y'all. Sorry, this. Once people keep saying that they're lying, then just like Daniel, how are you supposed to believe anything that comes out of their mouth? Then the internet's going to have a field day at it, right? Which I said to Darren yesterday, like, honestly, because then people there's no credibility there anymore. And so it's kind of like I said, usually you have to have receipts to back up what you're saying. But that was quite the bombshell yesterday. And again, no disrespect to Darren, right? He's just doing what his heart feels is right for these children, even if yesterday it was just kind of like just a bombshell, but a bombshell without backing it up. Go ahead, Charmaine, next.
Um, yeah, what Sunny said pretty much exactly. And I know I apologized a bunch of times, but that's just not what this channel is about. And I think it's pretty safe for me to say that had Sunny known what was about to be shared, that would not have been part of our live stream yesterday. It's okay to speculate, and I say it all the time. It's okay to speculate responsibly, but you always have to keep the families in the back of your mind and in your heart, and have that empathy of how would I feel hearing this information. And we don't support or promote any kind of unfounded speculation like that, because speculation is speculation. That means we're shooting blanks. We have absolutely no information. But for somebody to come on and say, I'm 1,000% positive the kids are alive, blah, 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 and if they ever come back to this area, they're going to be completely different. You'll never see them again. That's not right and irresponsible. And I have a feeling that after the fact, Darren might have regretted some of the things that he had put out, the way he put it out. But too little, too late, right? Once it's out there, it's out there. And thank God that people haven't started running with it yet today. But I mean, it's just a matter of time. And unfortunately, our channel stamp is going to be on that information, and that's just not what Sunny has ever stood for. So that's
Well, if you have facts, then support them with receipts. You have to. If not, be responsible then with the information. I was not expecting that to be said yesterday at all. And I do. again, it's hard to go back when it's already out there. And then when somebody tells you that they had to lie and do this stuff, like I understand for sure that you keep your friends close and your enemies closer and stuff like that. But I feel like that was just so it was just so extreme of information that
Yeah. So now we have the full, you know, watching this one, which I will put the link here in the chat for anybody that wants to watch the whole thing. Um, all 4.5 hours of it. I don't think that I stuck around for all 4.5 hours, but um, s- at, at this time, we, and make no mistake, Sunny shared that private phone conversation with me like right away. So I had heard what Darren had told her. And so now you all know what we were expecting to happen during this phone call that we watched a couple of minutes ago. And then, like this one. So, this is the private phone call that we heard. And then the next day, or no, this same day is where the shit got real live stream happened. And I'll put the link to that one in here too. Um, but so now you guys know how all that went down. You guys know what we knew at this time when we were listening to Derwood say 1,000% ironclad. That's not what was supposed to come out that day. And then we just saw Sunny and I's reaction to that 180 with no notice either, without even giving Sunny a heads up. Like, remember what I told you? Never mind, because now I know different things. And it was just, it's wrong on so many levels. But if you look at it on its face, you have to ask, it's been so long since all of this happened, since he first came out. Why is he still talking? And still no receipts, and still no proof to back up anything that he's saying. And empty threats, like Peace by said, wasn't he made a public threat to the RCMP that they had 7 days to release his interview or he would do it, and we heard crickets. We heard nothing. And that, to me, is because he didn't have a copy of his interview. I'm quite sure that the RCMP don't allow people to personally record it. So if the RCMP didn't want to release, that they're certainly not going to give him a copy of it to release. Um, so it's just, it's baffling why he's still talking. And that's where my mind is at. It's like, what what benefit is there to have this theory still being pushed by certain individuals, I guess? If it's not true, then what's the motive? And if it's true, why haven't we been able to see a single solitary receipt? Nothing. Nothing. I don't understand it. So I just want to put, if this gets loud, I apologize because I want to put this link in the chat.
Darren, before we let him go,
Where's the thing?
Kent, let me unmute you,
You
Kent.
you're mute. Yeah.
Am I muted?
Oh my God, yes, but you're very loud. Okay, 1 second. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Here's the link to that one. So now you guys have the before, the private phone call, when that information was supposed to come out and didn't, and then our reaction to it afterwards. So there's the whole story around it. And now I don't want to completely focus on why, but I think that there's got to be some meaning to it all. Am I wrong? Let's hit chat for a few minutes. When Darren said some of what I said isn't true was an admittance of his deceit. Right. So misleading others and keeping information to himself so he can collect the reward money or divert attention from himself, family involvement. So I don't think it's got anything to do with the reward money because he came out before the reward was announced. So his motive for doing whatever it is he's doing wasn't, at least at the beginning, wasn't to do with the reward. So I will say that for him. The why is so baffling. Derwood is dumbass now. I think Derwood was seeing Janie and is covering for her and her and Daniel. Then they got into a fight, the three of them, and now Derwood is trying to get ahead of everything so he cannot be charged with accessory. I don't know about that. This is This diversion has cost all the time and possibly evidence of truth. All are lying, whether it was accident or actually walked off. Hmm. What a thing to say. Two beautiful, innocent children are missing and not found. And here we are today. So heartbreaking. I can't wrap my head around this. It's troubling. And this, other than where are Jack and Lily, this individual is the most baffling part of this entire case. Why? And why no proof or evidence? If he's given it all to the RCMP and they have investigated it and nothing, why are we still pushing it? Why? What is the allegation? That he's given everything to the RCMP and they're not investigating? Is that what we're trying to allude to? Is that seriously? Like, I don't know. This is a solid case of a know-it-all who thinks he's so smart that any day now he's going to slip through his own arsehole and hang himself. It's been almost 9 months. Didn't Derwood say Daniel would not come out of the trailer when he wanted to confront him recently? Yes. I heard that that's not true. I heard that Daniel was sleeping and didn't realize that Derwood was there having a disagreement with Janie. I don't know. I wasn't there. But you've got Derwood's side, and then now you've got Daniel's side. Who's to say? I think he's releasing information little by little as a warning. Who? Who? Derwood? Oh, I see what you're saying. As a warning. Okay. Mm, gotcha. That's a wild claim and not one that I've heard before. I mean, we've heard that Janie had a boyfriend, but Janie's never said she had a boyfriend. I've never heard it from Daniel that she had a boyfriend. Um, I'm not 100% sure where it came from that she had a boyfriend. So again, that is, to me, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I missed something, but that is speculation. I don't know that she had a boyfriend. I know that she was expected to not have been at the trailer that morning, um, going shopping with her brother, but I remember hearing that she was supposed to have been with her boyfriend, but I don't know where that came from. I have watched you on Sunny's channel and saw your heartbreak all of the time. Yeah. And not just heartbreak, but my a lot of times unjustified anger because I mean, these aren't my kids and Belinda's not my family. And I just felt so personally offended by all of the shit that was going on. And people weren't thinking before they were putting this stuff out. And when a family member comes out and they say stuff like this, it's going to give, and it did. This story grew legs that are still running today. with absolutely nothing to back any of it up. And there are people out there who believe Derwood with absolutely nothing to back up anything, to the point where he's created this circle of trusted people with him that believe this theory. And a lot of them, I think, held on to it because it was hope. And I'll never take hope away from anybody, but you have to do it respectfully and responsibly. And I just have a problem with it. I do. Maybe that thing she can't describe in her heart is guilt. Ever think of that, Janie? Derwood went from ironclad they are alive to if Daniel had anything to do with it, the kids are not alive. Well, so if Daniel had anything to do with it, the kids are not alive. That was said during the private phone call before he came out with the 1000% ironclad kids are alive. And if you go and you listen to that live stream, he goes on to say they could be in the United States, different hair, different, you'll never, if they ever do come back here, they'll look completely different. You'll never see them again. And that's what I took issue with. Because it was, and I still say it was wrong. Even if you believe that, you don't come out and tell the public that. And I understand he had no concept of how fast shit moves on YouTube and on the internet, but how many people would buy into it with no proof? There are a lot of things I believe. I really believe certain things, but I have no proof of that. So I'm not going to share it. This is the interview with Darren from back in July. The newer interview betrays himself as the victim of misinformation fed to him by Daniel. That's why I think it's important to re-listen to it, because he was not getting his information from Daniel and Janie. If anything, he was giving information to Janie and Daniel, and Janie as much as said it in her voice clips. After listening to Darren, things started to make sense. I shit you not, she said it. I wonder if Black House was a meeting, hangout, date night place. Maybe. And I've also heard recently, and I have no information on it yet, but that there was another Giddy's property with like a shed or something along maybe Lansdowne Station. Not sure. You keep thinking of the Black House? Rumor has it that during the Christmas season, there were actually Christmas lights on. You remember when we were going through and looking closer at the Black House and there were garbage bags and stuff like that? And Daniel had told me that the lights in the house are on a timer, so people would think that people were living there, and that's why the black truck was always parked there. Somebody else had told me that there were actually Christmas lights inside the house. So, I mean, maybe somebody's staying there. She would require a moral compass, values, and compassion, or feel remorse or guilt. She has only hatred, in my opinion, inside her pit. That's dark. But he only said that about Daniel because he thought it was private combo. Right. Right. But the order in which that information came out, I think right now is what's important, because he said that about Daniel during the private phone call before he came out and said, kids are alive. And then before the private phone call, he was on there, and we listened to it yesterday, he was on there saying, Daniel is a calm guy, he's a gentle guy, he's not abusive, blah, 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 blah. But then the next day in the private phone call, it was like, if Daniel has anything to do with it, they're not alive. Then turn into later that same day this. Like 1000% ironclad, the kids are alive. And it was the talk about receipts, I think, that triggered Derwood. He didn't understand what we meant about receipts and why we needed to see something to prove what he was saying before we were comfortable putting it out there. I think, if I remember correctly, he took issue with that. It's obvious who told him to run that narrative, and it wasn't CPS. Depends on the timing. It's like I said, when I went back and I was listening to the Janie clips, and she said after talking to Darren, things just started to make sense. To me, that means that she got that narrative that they're running with from Darren. Maybe I'm wrong. He went to the trailer and Daniel would not come out. That was after Darren realized he had been played. No clue. I think so. He inserted himself into this, and his story keeps changing. The RCMP stated that Derwood was fishing and a belligerent, so he has no credibility. Correct. Mr. Hemi, if you go into a case like this looking for a specific thing, say a mountain, you are going to find mountains where there are no mountains. This is what happened to Darren. He has no boundaries. I think they're playing each other. It's a zero-sum game, right? Derwood adds 0 to Jack and Lily's case. Derwood is only damaging this case. I agree, and I feel like it has to be, he should be held accountable. But why is he still doing it? The RCMP wouldn't give any info to Janie when she kept asking too. Weird, right? Yes, that was right after the little spat that him and Janie had in DT's chat when she denied saying that she heard the kids. And that was right around the time well, that's why Derwood went over there. Because of what happened in DT's chat. Keep people looking the other way. In my opinion, that's why he's still talking. Could be. I can't think of another logical explanation. Some of his posts on Facebook are very degrading to creators, and Derwood created another group that is awful. Yeah. He wants attention. Darren thinks he's Sherlock Holmes. Yeah. Belinda, two-way conversations can only be released by one of the parties of the conversation. Right. In your opinion, Kent is also hurting this case? It's his complete and total belief, faith, trust, whatever you want to say, in Derwood's version. And it stems, in my opinion, from Kent's hope that the kids are alive. But he's been polluted and brainwashed, in my opinion. I trusted Kent at first, but wow, did my eyes get opened as time went on. Kent dug himself a hole. Just everyone be grateful you don't have anything like him at home. And how did Kent get exposed? Exposed in what way? To me, and this is just my observation, he exposed himself by jumping on Derwood's bandwagon so hardcore and being so supportive of things that they couldn't prove and being so cryptic about the information that they had, you know. And then there were other people involved as well that were just they were just feeding into this narrative with no reasoning behind it. Like, if we're looking for two missing children, and here's the thing, and this is my opinion, but if we're looking for two missing children and we truly believe that they're alive somewhere and they're being hidden, they're being kept away from who, I'm not even going to say, but whoever they think they're being hidden from, wouldn't would it make sense to go on YouTube and Facebook and post the theory, Or would it be more credible to be out handing out missing persons photos, to be respectfully trying to spread awareness? The kids are out there somewhere, not saying keep them hidden. You're doing the right thing. Um, all of the wild, disrespectful stuff that we've heard. What is more logical to you? Because to me, if I think the kids are alive, I'm looking for them, whether that be online or boots on the ground. I am going to search from coast to coast for these children. I'm not just going to put empty threats and baseless conspiracies online, especially almost 9 months in, seeing how little it's helping things. It's not going to continue. So there has to be another motive. There has to be. In one of the interviews the RCMP did, I'm sure they said they had spoken to Darren and he mostly asked them questions. You're not wrong. It wasn't in an interview. It was in the court docs, actually. They absolutely said that. You're right. Write this down. Obstruction is a very fundamental wrong. Right. And I am sure the RCMP and Major Crimes Unit is writing all of it down, and not just Darren. They're writing all of it down because there's a serious problem here. What did Kent do? I'm not sure what people have, like, what every single person, what their issue is with Kent. I believe on its face, it's got a lot to do with just his support of Darren, I think. His fundraising campaign, he owes money to people. His closeness to Darren has made him blind to the gaps. Yeah, okay. The fundraising. And fundraising is never a great idea. And just really quickly before I carry on with chat, I was sent a link to a silent auction, I believe, that I think comes from Malaya's side of the family to raise money for search and rescue, the search that's being scheduled for spring. Um, I will put the link to the page in chat before we go here. But I'm not going to, because of the mess that the last fundraisers have caused, I'm not going to promote or ignore it. I'm going to give you the link so that if you're interested in it, you're free to go check it out. I am not um I am not advertising it. I am not pushing it. I am not promoting it. I am giving you the information. And if you think that by putting the link in my chat is promoting it, let me know. I don't see it that way because that's not my intention. I believe Kent has been working with Darren to steer the narrative away from Daniel. Joe Neal, where have you been? Did I forget to tell you you could come out of the car last time? I think, in my opinion, that Derwood is doing everything he could to impede the investigation. The RCMP are trying to resolve the case, and Derwood inundated them with stuff. No, you're not blocked. Do you want to be? I think Kent is gullible when it comes to Darren. He got himself so involved and he cannot look at it objectively. And case in point, the day that the day that Daniel showed up with Derwood to Kent's house, Kent didn't see an issue with that. To the point where before he even told Sonny and I that that had happened, he had put it in some group chat that that had happened. Because when he told Sonny and I that, we were like, what and why? And do not tell the public that, because that is just going to make you look like you're covering for Daniel or you're up to something shady. Like, why would you even allow him to be there? You need to stay out of it. And Kent was like, well, Derwood thought it was a good idea for Daniel to meet me. He didn't get it. He didn't see the issue with it. So again, case in point, naivety or something else. I don't know. I just had to step away for a few. What did I miss about Kent? Do people think he is guilty of something? I'm so confused. I don't think so. Just people are wondering like what he did wrong. And I struggle with that too, like other than trusting Derwood and being brainwashed at this point. I don't know. But people said something about the fundraiser and I don't know. The boyfriend thing came out at the beginning that Malaya was caught off guard thinking Janie wasn't there. Around the same time, we heard Justin was fighting with his wife and was staying there. Right, but she didn't think that Janie was going to be there because she normally goes shopping with her brother on Fridays. So like I just don't know where the actual boyfriend rumor came out because Janie's never said it. Lying and making a mockery of those poor missing children. His ice cream comment pissed me off, completely heartless. Maybe he's not, but it came off that way. I also quit listening to this. It all so disappointing and disturbing. Yeah, I get it. I saw so much and felt so much as a mother and a grandmother. And I can't imagine those two beautiful, innocent children. Do they not have a heart? They just don't get it. Did Derwood not say at one point that he likes kids, but in a clean way? Hmm. I think Kent was suspicious of Daniel's narrative and was overly polite and agreeable with Derwood. Okay, thanks, Lucy. But just because he believed Darren, that did not make him a bad person. Yeah. Is Kent still involved with this case? I mean, he's in groups with Derwood. He's as far as I know, he's helping Derwood. So involved? No. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think Kent is involved anymore. I've not seen him, but maybe I'm wrong. Involved? Like involved is such a strong word. He's BFFs with Derwood. He got sucked into Derwood's BS. Absolutely. Hook, line, and sinker. And now to me, he's completely brainwashed. He raised money for Jack and Lily that didn't go where it was supposed to and took money for signs and gave people no signs. So, I don't know. Took me 5 months to get my bracelets. Derwood looks like a tough and strong old bastard. He has this big ass hands with sausage fingers. Had a story or two that I've heard, but yes, they were boxers. Kent isn't dumb. He is correct in saying there is no direct evidence regarding the kid's disappearance, so he was neutral. He was, and now fully, wholeheartedly believes that they were taken and hidden. Joe, try to keep up. Why has Derwood not been arrested then for his BS? Who could endanger people's lives with his shit? I don't know the answer to that, but I can only speculate that maybe his information is just that useless. Maybe it's not affecting their investigation at all. Don't come at me, but we have no more proof the children are deceased than being alive somewhere. No reason to come at you for that because that's exactly right. Derwood bought the boyfriend of Janie up when he first started telling the narrative. Oh, is that true? I wondered the same thing. Was his fundraiser through GoFundMe? No. Then they have policies in place to deal with fraud, and it's also a crime to misappropriate such funds, so I need proof. No, It wasn't through I believe Kent has his own GoFundMe to raise money for his um shop rebuild. Nothing to do with Jack and Lily's case. Jack and Lily awareness fundraiser was the bracelets, the keychains, the decals, the missing persons posters, all those things, and e-transfers were sent to Lana, Bree. I'm not sure if Kent ever received e-transfers directly, but he was, when he took over the money, he was given money. And I don't know a thing about it either way. All I know for sure is it took me 5 months to get my bracelets, that I paid double what they wanted for, just in case they needed to pay Pure later, but I got them now. Yes, I can see him being a bit gullible, but never mean or misleading. I hate that I can't edit my comments, but why is he, you think, damaging the case at some point? Someone has got to dig into his life. Who? Derwood? Sure they have. Ron called Janie at 6 a.m. Missed call, correct. Kent is a very kind soul and will go out of his way to help others in this area. What is the Thursday, May 1st timeline? The RCMP needs that info. Right. And other than their, what is it called? I guess the metadata on the phones, all they can go by is Daniel and Malaya's version and anybody that they came into contact with, CCTV video to verify that they were where they said they were. So I'm sure they've pieced together somewhat of a timeline. And I don't understand why Daniel claims to not remember Thursday. Because at this point, I mean, it wouldn't have taken me this long to go back and track every single thing that I did leading up to the disappearance of my kids or stepkids. I would have that down pat. I would know. He's doing damage. You know the answer to that question, Shirley. My heart breaks for Belinda's family. I would be crazy by now. Thank you. Anastasia, thank you for your hard work, caring, and integrity in helping to get justice for dear Jack and Lily. Thank you so much. That's a very kind of you. Thank you. Not gullible, Canadian, nice, and unwilling to make accusations. You haven't heard them behind the scenes, okay? So think what you will. One party consent is in Canada is correct? Yeah, you bet. He thought he was giving you good news, not very self-reflection. He sounds all over the place. Yeah. He thought that people were going to hear that and just think, great. And I don't know if he expected people to be like, well, okay, well, I guess they're alive and well, so we might as well give up, might as well move on. I don't know if that's what he expected. That's what it seems like he expected. But why? If they're truly being hidden, why wouldn't you want to search for them? These kids deserve to be found and brought home. And now they're in the public eye, so there's no quietly, putting them back with the family that neglected them. So they need to be brought home, no matter what. So no matter what you think happened to them, hang posters. Use your social media for good instead of all this bullshit. I know charges. Yeah. I'd eat a 10-pound turnip if Kent is a bad un. So Derwood and Kent are in cahoots. Cahoots? Kent has joined the Derwood train. I don't know if that's in cahoots, but he definitely trusts, believes, has hope, whatever you want to say. I'm not putting any shade on Kent. I have my own feelings about things that Kent has done or the people that he associates with. But I don't have any proof that he's done anything wrong other than have faith and hope in somebody that cannot provide a receipt. And maybe Derwood has proven to Kent for all I know. So then why haven't the RCMP gone and grabbed the kids? Or at least gone down that investigative avenue? Maybe they have. I don't know. I wonder if they are waiting till they charge others. But if he was obstructing, okay, like literally obstructing, and like I keep saying, he's the only one still out here talking. If that was obstructive to the investigation, they would want to remove that obstruction. So I don't think that they would wait. If he was causing a big problem to their investigation, I don't think they would allow him to continue causing the problem. I think he's a big nothing burger to the RCMP, but and maybe they're wondering why too. Maybe they're wondering why too. I don't know. I don't know. When I started watching creators' channels, I watched Sunny and Kent was there and living in Ontario. I trusted him because I thought he was there to share what he knew about the area. And that is why he was there. In the beginning. Belinda, because he's not lying, look at what her lawyers are doing, protecting her image. Only the police have that power. I always like Kent, and to be honest, I really don't know what happened other than the belief that he has about Jack and Lily was the more. Apparently something to do with fundraising money. I don't know. But why wait if he's actually exactly, Belinda? Exactly. They wouldn't. If he was harming the investigation, they wouldn't. I think his information, if he in fact gave the RCMP the information, I think that it was followed up and it obviously led nowhere. But other than that, he might be a harmless nuisance to them and not obstructing the case. But we don't know where their investigation is going, which direction. Or maybe they're feeding him rope enough to hang himself. Don't know. I remember we thought that about Daniel for months. That they were buddying up to Daniel and they were feeding him enough rope, hopefully that he would slip up or something, and nothing ever came of it. So maybe it's the same thing with Derwood. Maybe he is just a harmless nuisance. The only person looking for them is Belinda. Yep. Winter is killing me, especially knowing that Jack and Lily are out there somewhere, and they factually are. They didn't get beamed up to a spaceship. They are factually out there somewhere. We have no idea in what condition, but they are out there. Belinda, maybe they think they can get something out of him. Maybe the RCMP, letting Darren babble so they can scare some of the foxes out of the foxholes. I thought the same thing about Daniel for a long time. You never know. And strangely harassing people who are authentically bringing awareness and discussing theories about the disappearance. That, I think, is more to do with his ego. Doesn't bother me, it's useless. Daniel and Malaya are not looking because you don't look for something that is not lost, aka they know where the kids are. Fair. Serious problem the police are ignoring. Could be. In my opinion, much of the lack of objectivity comes from social media and algorithms. People keep getting fed the narratives that appeal to them, right? And that's like the one side that they hear. They don't open themselves up to the other side or both sides or down the middle. They don't open themselves up to other possibilities. And then when they hear somebody that's not on board with their narrative, they lose it. They lose their friggin' minds. Like they can't even comprehend any other way of thinking. Drives me nuts. We'll donate money to search and rescue, and that's it. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Right. Well, mother's family is asking for money. I didn't say that. I didn't say that either. I didn't say any of that. I don't know a thing about it. I was sent a link today. I will put that. I'm not even going to pull it up on my channel because I don't know enough about it. I'll put the link in my chat. You guys can go check it out. I don't know a thing about it. I am giving you the link to go investigate it for yourself. Okay? That's literally all I know. I had no time today to even open the link. What does the unredacted statement say about this? About what? About what? Do you want me to pull them up? I would personally give directly to Please Bring Me Home. Yeah, absolutely. It's for future searches and awareness materials. Okay. But I want to support search and rescue. I would donate directly to them. Yeah. It's a shame that the first two fundraisers went so sideways because people are going to be very, very, very wary about giving their money to anything other than a reputable, like search and rescue, like Please Bring Me Home, when they have the ability to, donate directly to them, and it's hard for family on either side to say we want to promote awareness when you've got literally two family members looking for the kids. So nobody's going to want to give Malaya's side a dime for a poster, nor are they going to want to give Daniel a dime for a stapler. You know what I'm saying? They've burnt those bridges and it's by their own doing. So, it's unfortunate, but that's just the reality of it. I don't believe you were promoting it at all. You were giving awareness about it, right? And I mean, I was asked to post it. I was asked to like cover it on my live stream. I'm not going to do that because I literally didn't have time to look into it. So I will put the link on so everybody else can. Did anyone listen to that channel with some guy who was going through all of the AI channels out there spreading garbage? He was on yesterday and that was some kind of wild. I could not listen long. Yeah, and it's a problem. Like those AI channels need to be reported because what it does is it actually affects how like how AI answers legitimate questions about the case. Like they're getting information fake from the fake news sources. So we've gotten to a point in this case now where you can't even Google something because it's filled with false information. The mainstream media stirred this up and Derwood. Kent is only trying to get information. Hmm. The car was so cold, I totally forgot about you. I apologize. Derwood should be slapped with a gag order. The misinformation he is spreading is ridiculous. So I think the last communication that we heard from Derwood was the hidden in the fog call. Am I wrong? Is it possible that he's been asked to shut up at this point? Because has to be a week ago now at least, right? Do you look for something that is not lost, that you know where it is? I think Kent would do anything for Darren. I don't think you're wrong. Wait, we're gonna no, I didn't say that. I get that. What I mean is whether you think in a positive way or a negative way. Kent seems to think he's a big man on campus in Pictou County. I wouldn't know. I'm not there. All right. No, not Malaya, the search groups, Joe. Right. I'll put it in the chat in a bit. Janice and Cheryl are standing for Malaya's family on her behalf. Seems absurd to keep promoting the theory and telling the RCMP this theory. It's a bizarro world. Not just telling the RCMP this theory, because who knows if he actually is, but then calling the RCMP incompetent, arrogant clowns, and thinking that that's going to gain him support from the major crimes or anybody. It just, I cannot connect it logically in my brain. I believe the kids are within 5 to 8 miles of the home. Janice, Janice, if you're watching, Maria is still waiting on her bracelets. Well, people play on people's emotions to donate money. Yeah. And yeah. Notice how pretty much everyone has gone silent. Daniel, the neighbor, Kent, although maybe he is talking on forums. Um, yeah, but there are other platforms that some of those people talk on. Um, just because they're not so much in YouTube chats or publicly on Facebook. Um, Daniel aside, but like Brad, Kent, Derwood, they have their circles. Maria, I remember that and hope do so as well. 113. Hey, wait. Was he saying Malaya killed the kids in the bathroom, the blood everywhere, crazies everywhere? What? Much love and respect to you, Belinda and family. The way you advocate for Lily and Jack is amazing. My heart breaks for you all. A boxer, first I heard of that, but I could see it, I guess. Yeah, he is a boxer from back in the day. Joe, go wait in the car. Kent had that GoFundMe started before any of the fundraising started for the kids. Yeah, like his shop burnt in June, like early June, I believe, and he's had that GoFundMe since then. There's always quite the quiet spell till the next thing comes out. It is becoming very predictable. Maybe parents were totally partied, passed out. They really don't know what happened, in my opinion. Maybe someone took them, done something with them to protect them. Maybe. He likely stole most of the money. Kent did for me, doesn't matter, sent money every month. And who knows if the signs were put up. At this point, I don't care. I just want Jack and Lily are found and justice served. You think the auction is being run by Janice? Okay. I have receipts of it, all as well as communication with search teams that were to receive donations. We're all very confused. We have no idea how Derwood really feels about Daniel. My opinion, they could have been put on a ship headed somewhere or across borders without knowledge. Thank you, Ron. Gotta pick up the kids. Hey, see you later. Drive safe. So funny. Daniel says Thursday was just an ordinary day, so he should have no problem remembering it. Road signs were put up and money was handed to Janice and money given back to some donors. Okay. Receipts of my payment that went through GoFundMe and the conversation had, Joe. Ooh. I'm gonna try to go a little bit quicker. Seems like ordinary day was tweaking to the point he can't remember what happened. But if it was an ordinary day, it should have been same old same. And they had like a little excursion. They went out with all the kids and captured on CCTV video, and they had their cell phones with them, so there would be metadata there. I think that the RCMP has pieced together somewhat of a timeline for Thursday. I thought Kent said the money for the goods Kent dealt with, he opened a different account. You guys, I have no idea. You're having a good conversation about chat or in chat about it, but I don't know. Last I knew, Lana was passing it all over to someone else. She was done and she was having health issues. I believe that was when it was handed over to Kent and Janice, I think. Why do people do GoFundMe when children are missing? It's happening more and more. Dylan E., it was the same. I can see them doing one to help the searchers who came from Ontario, I believe. Right. And you can donate directly to Please Bring Me Home, you know? Let's focus on Jack and Lily. Not Kent. Yeah, hit the heart button for Jack and Lily. I don't get to see all the hearts. I wish I could. I think RCMP want to keep Derwood under his wing, and I bet they are watching. Why can't you what? So why is Derwood still allowed to spread hate, even towards the police? His mouth is a loaded gun that could seriously harm people. I agree. It's baffling. Anything you donated, Marie, would have been handed over to Janice, and I believe those donations were said to have gone to local search and rescue from the GoFundMe. I think it boils down to what info the RCMP have that we don't. Absolutely. Absolutely. We have no idea what the RCMP has. Not a clue. We know what they did look into it, one snapshot in time through those court documents. But other than that, we have no idea. I know as a parent, I'd be hurting real bad now. I'd be living in that bush. I'd die trying to find them. If I believed they were out there, absolutely. But if I didn't, tell you, I would be looking for them. I would be using my social media. I would be putting posters up. I would be trying to have vigils and rallies and just raising awareness. You see parents of missing children do stuff like that. That's what they do. And there's many of us that still want to talk about Jack and Lily, but the conversation is drying up. So here we are, we're looking at Derwood again, but we're talking about Jack and Lily. We're keeping their little faces out there and their names out there, and we can't not. Marky, I haven't seen you forever. Thanks for being here. I would be a walking zombie, but still not give up looking for my babies. Yeah. No one should be asking for money when children go missing, in my opinion. Please bring me home. Yes, even they didn't ask for a cent. When will the local searchers be able to resume searching on their own time? What month does extreme weather tame? I'm not sure. Springtime, I know that there are planned searches, but like a few weeks ago when it was very, very mild, like even a couple of weeks ago, very little bit of snow, I'd questioned, and I know that there were individuals out there still searching, you know, but an organized, planned search, I think we're looking at spring, if I'm not mistaken. I thought Darren said Malaya didn't think Janie was home. She thought Janie was at her boyfriend's. That could very well be. That could very well be. Hey, Joe Hunter. Hope you're well. I respect you so much, Char. I know you are a strong woman and we all have stories to tell personally. And this case is absolutely heartbreaking. My husband is watching hockey. There's nothing wrong with that. Go team. Oh, wait a second. I can't remember where you are. Go Flames. Belinda, do you know if Lily and Jack had a favorite book read to them? If so, I would like to know so I can buy a few and donate to children's centers. Uh, this is unfortunate. Like I can't follow a link. I'd like to, but I can't follow the link from StreamYard. I didn't think Kent was responsible for the bracelets. Not a clue. I know that he was the poster guy. I don't know. Maybe Malaya would know that, not seeing them for 18 months. I do not know. Kent has a lot to say in certain channels, right? Yeah, he's still out there. No, I don't know, but if you give me a second, I did that because I have to open it. I have to open Facebook on my, and I don't want to show who sent me the link because that would be inappropriate. Don't know who that is. See, I get all kinds of strange messages. Heads up, most of the time I choose to read them, but if I don't know you, I'm not going to go out of my way to try to respond. Hope that makes sense. Does that work if I can? How do you? I'm just going to share a link. I don't know if it'll work or not. Hopefully it does. If it doesn't work for you guys, maybe I'll get Melissa to. Does that come as one or a bunch? It's kind of long. Okay, Kim is one. Somebody try it. Somebody try that link and tell me if it worked. I agree. Talking about Kent is unproductive. I couldn't agree more. Um, See, now I went to the bottom of the chat and I have to scroll all the way up to get your other comments, so probably not going to do it. Except for this one. It's a good one. Yeah. I just say shame on every single person that knew how Jack and Lily were living and did nothing. All of them have to be held responsible. The day before was still the day before the day of Danny Boy. Squid, are you okay? Stroking out on me? I wanted to vomit when he did that. There's an auction. Online auction. Correct. Mama Angie, it's good to see you. I don't usually see you in here. I do not know. I would hope so at this point, if only for collateral information, but I don't know. I do not communicate with anybody in that circle any longer. The lunatics are running the asylum. This case has become everyone's mind has been hijacked by everything we've been told to believe. I'm waiting on an arrest or more if it ever comes. Yeah. Darren is allowed to talk because loose lips sink ships. That is a possible explanation why there has been no indication that the RCMP even have an issue with anything that he's doing. So, I don't know, maybe. Still wondering what the 6 a.m. phone call between Janie and Ron was about. I can't get an answer. I don't think that that was an answered call. I think that it was an unanswered call. And I believe that there was a TikTok or some kind of reel sent from Janie to Ron at around 6:15-ish. Not sure. But I'm pretty sure that the phone call you guys are referring to went unanswered. Maybe I'm wrong. It's a lot to remember. Cheryl and Janice are on top of that now. The auction, the fundraiser. I said I don't want to be mean about it. I hope everybody takes the time to go and check it out and see if it's something that you want to support. But as a creator and everything that's gone on with the previous fundraisers, I hope everybody can understand and appreciate why I am not willing to promote it. I will give you the information so you have it. You can go make up your own minds, but I'm not telling anybody to do anything at all, ever. At all. I don't even care about the donations. We have invested ourselves either emotionally and or we donated money. It's good to rehash things from months ago. It is because we forget. There are a lot of people out there that think Darren has been on this train since the beginning. But he hasn't, has he? It's evolved, it's changed, and it's reverted, and it's changed again, and it is it useless? Maybe, but I always look for the motive. It would be nice to hear more about the kids instead of the usual BS characters. It would be. And I have asked. And for some reason, their favorite snacks and their favorite TV shows and their favorite foods and all that stuff is top secret. For some reason, I cannot pry it out of anybody. I have asked even for somebody to say that the kids are loved and missed and worried about so that I can post a screenshot of their family humanizing these children that we all use for a storyline to bring them back to reality for us, that we're not just talking about the Jack and Lily case. We were talking about Jack and Lily, the two children that are out there somewhere. And we have no idea what, if anything, their family is doing about it. Crickets. Nothing. Search and risk. Go check out the link that I gave. It says, I'm not going to post it. It says this auction is created with one purpose, to raise funds that will go directly towards upcoming search efforts once weather conditions allow, and to support awareness initiatives that help keep Lily and Jack's story visible and active in the public eye. That's what the intro for the fundraiser is. Has anybody gone to the link? Did it work? Yeah, and I mean, we're going to transition into Janie here soon, unfortunately, but it's important to revisit. It is. Here's the link. Anybody visit it yet? No. Um, American Justice's Melissa Brooks's Crime Lines and Lies. Link works. Thanks, Dodie. In my opinion, didn't someone say something about crossing borders to buy and sell cars in the States? Yes. Derwood and I were having a debate on one of those early live streams about, because if I don't know who remembers, but when Trump came out with his tariffs, um, our province in Alberta and all other provinces, we were basically told by Trump, you have to strengthen your border security because of all the fentanyl and stuff that's getting over the border. which is bullshit, but it is what it is. But we did. We strengthened our borders. And I had a hard time believing that somebody would be able to, even with passports. I'm not saying it's not possible, but you take Jack and Lily across the border, because he wasn't saying he was saying you could sneak across the border, and I don't say that that's impossible, but with two small children, I think it's highly unlikely. And then he started arguing that, well, they had their passports, but Malia took their passports. Okay, fine, but you have this vulnerable persons alert, and Jack and Lily's names are on a system, and if they go through the border, maybe not right that second, but eventually it's going to flag, and the RCMP are going to learn that the kids crossed the border. That was my argument. And he was saying, well, my brother and I, or my brother, blah, 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 used to smuggle cars across the, whatever. It just, that triggers me. Hello, Arlie. Hello, Bubba. Go stink. I'd have to go 2 hours, 45 minutes. He's not impressed. That chat was a while back, haha, was in reference to the day before just being an ordinary day, so there's nothing to remember. Yeah, I would remember every second. It's good. Family first. Always. Always, always, always. Waiting for the Thursday timeline. I feel like you're going to be waiting until trial if there is one. Well, I feel like the channel that he spoke to here, and I don't mean any disrespect to that channel, but I feel like that's where they all go to right before they disappear into the abyss. I don't understand it either. Derwood is like a snow globe. Shake him up and flakes fall. Fair. Not one of them have said that they are loved and missed and cherished or worried about. I've literally asked that directly. Asked that. It would do the online community a world of good to hear or see a screenshot of somebody in Jack and Lily's life saying these children are loved and missed and we're worried sick about them. They just don't get it because they won't say it. And I don't understand why. I haven't either, you know? It's like nobody knew them. Ran out of characters. They're not remembering now if it was just an ordinary day. However, it is known now it wasn't an ordinary day. It was the last day you spent with those kids. How can you forget? You wouldn't. And even if you did initially, you would rack your brain. You would rack your brain to track every single thing that happened in the time leading up to when your children went missing. It says a portion. It says to raise funds that will go directly toward upcoming search efforts once weather. But I mean, if that's what you're reading, that's what you're reading. Like I said, I haven't had time to dig into it. So I only pay direct things like, yeah, that's an option too. As long as the money gets to the people that need it to make those searches happen, I'm on board. Where's Lily's backpack and apparently LOL doll and her boots and Jack's pull-up and boots? Something's not right. I don't understand how family members can be so heartless. Or mindless. It's one of the two. Bingo. Did I get something right, Melissa? Want. Hi, Harley, maybe everybody's saying hello. He's such a good boy. He's so handsome. Yes, he is. He stinks, though. He's going to have to poo, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to go. My baby's my number one. Um, Cody, Lily liked to mimic me, and Jack would always try to play with my antique bottles. I never had the chance to read them books, but Lily was always dancing around while Jack played quietly. See? It's good information. Thanks for that, Belinda. Is a meanie, I know. Harley, she's not giving baby kisses and treats. Aunt Melissa will come love you. That's not true. I live for my baby. Thank you. He's my good boy. But he's shedding so bad. So bad. He's a sweet boy. Um, let's see here. I need to wrap it up. Where's Harley? Right here. Right here. Literally right. You can see his butt. Right here. He's a good boy. He's never far. He's usually sleeping on the floor behind me, but he's never far. It's all Jack did this. Lily did and said this. How they acted, who cares? They are missing. I can't believe this has gone on so long. And that's the strange thing, right? Like even when I had a conversation with Daniel, I would ask for stuff like that, and I'd get, well, Lily didn't even know what a hammer or a screw was. Um, you know, I mean, good to know, but I can't say when I was sick I knew what a screw was either. But the children are loved. The children are missed. I'm worried sick about the children. I don't know why I can't get anybody to say that for a screenshot for the expressed purpose of putting it up for you guys all to see, which opens the door to even making it not even true, but just do it to appease me. So I'll stop asking you, but they won't do it. I don't understand why. I don't understand why. Because they want people to forget and stop talking. It's never going to happen, conscious beings. It's never going to happen. We might not have useful stuff to talk about, but thankfully we have plenty of fodder from Derwood and Janie and Daniel and all the stuff that we can go back over. You have to do your live in 10 minutes. All right. So that concretes it for me. I'm going to end it. Appreciate everybody. Tomorrow is Monday. Damn, Grando. Don't talk to your mother that way. Okay. I just don't want to miss anything. So, okay. We're doing this. We're gonna watch Melissa. Make sure that you sub up to Melissa tonight, okay? She's so close to 500. We need to get her there. See, Charmaine, we love them and still do, and you're right. We will never give up. Thank you for saying that, Belinda. But you know what I mean. I mean, it was absolutely not directed at you, but when I'm asking Daniel's side of the family or Malaya's side of the family to give me something like that so we can bring these kids back to reality. They're not just a storyline that we want to know who these kids are / were. And I can't get that. It is what it is. So let's say I'll see you tomorrow because I have a few days at home still. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Go over to Melissa's. We'll watch you. Have a good night. Bye.
We're going